be with us today.
Raul, it's a pleasure to be with you and your listeners and viewers.
Terrific. So listen, give them a little bit of background. I mean, obviously, you and I have known each other for some time, but some people may not be familiar with you. You had a long and successful career in the media business, and you've now sort of transitioned into the political sphere. Give people just kind of like the elevator pitch on Helen Aguirre Ferre.
Okay, well, and thank you. My family is originally from Nicaragua, very proud of that. My father was a political exile way back in the late 1940s, and he moved to Florida with my mother in Miami. In 1953, I was blessed to be one of 6 kids. I was born in Miami, so born and raised. I'm a Florida girl through and through. And faith, family, and country, Florida. Those are, that's what I put on my profile on Twitter, and I feel very strongly about that. And sure enough, Raul, I was a journalist for 25 years. Started in print journalism. It's, I'm sure I still bleed ink. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I do. It's where my love and passion started for journalism. And I did work in print, mostly in Spanish language, Diario Las Americas, which my father founded back in the day and sold, I guess, maybe 9-10 years ago at this point. And then from there transitioned to Spanish language television, English language television with a weekly show for WPBT Channel 2 in South Florida. And then, of course, I had a newspaper column in the Miami Herald and El Nuevo Herald for approximately a year and a half. It's interesting because it's the only time I really did that much work in English language. Most of my work was Spanish language, including a national radio broadcast for Univision Radio, as well as locally in South Florida with WQBA. So, wanted to make, I was invited to work on Jeb Bush's campaign when he was running for the Republican primary in 2015.
Correct.
And one of the big things that I really always admired about Jeb was the work that he did for education reform, including introducing vouchers. It was so controversial back then, Raul, if you remember. And then we look at where we are today with school choice, and school choice is what Republicans champion. And we've made so many strides. And most of those who enjoy school choice are minority communities, Hispanics and African American families. So very proud of that. And then after Jeb's campaign, I went to work for the RNC. Sean Spicer called me and invited me to be director of Hispanic Affairs for the RNC, which I gladly did. And lo and behold, we worked really hard for the presidential election of 2016 and support President Trump. We won. We improved our numbers by 2 points of Hispanic votes for president. We improved it over Mitt Romney by 2. And I went to work in the White House as director of media affairs, worked there for 2 years. But, my heart was calling me to go back to Florida. And when Governor DeSantis won governor of Florida, he asked me to become his communications director, which I gladly accepted. And I did that. And then he asked me if I would be interested in being executive director of the Republican Party of Florida. A great honor.
Absolutely.
And a great challenge. I'm the first Hispanic woman to have this position, and I've been doing it and enjoying and loving it every single day.
Yeah, well, you're also sharing that stage up in Tallahassee with our lieutenant governor from Miami as well, with Jeanette Nunez.
She is absolutely terrific. She is such an important component to Governor DeSantis' administration. She has a real job, much like Mike Pence does as vice president in the Trump administration. They have real jobs. They just don't have a title like Biden did under Obama. So this is an opportunity where we've seen that the lieutenant governor has really shown brilliantly. She has been overseeing the Space Coast projects in Florida. And as you know, that has been a significant component of job growth in our state. She's also been overseeing the Association for Healthcare Administration, the
Sure.
here ACA here in
Right.
Florida as well, which is so important. And she has been quite the champion in ensuring that healthcare remains a priority amongst many other issues. And she is also co-chair of Latinos, national co-chair of Latinos for Trump,
Yeah.
and really a role model for Hispanic men and women to follow.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, you mentioned Joe Biden, so let's get right into sort
Want
of
to talk about Joe?
the elephant in the room, which was the debate last night. Obviously, a much different debate from what we saw last time. A little bit more of a controlled environment. You could say that was good or bad, but I think Trump got some good shots in, and I think. Biden's going to regret certain things that he said last night. How did you view the debate? I mean, obviously we're both biased, but I mean, give us your view as a journalist first, and then maybe your view as a GOP person.
You know, I can tell you that first of all, it was a debate, and that was very different from the first time around. Number two, it was very clear that the president is really well versed on his policies and can ably defend his policies. He's really accomplished such a great amount of things in 3.5 years that most administrations barely do it in 2 terms. But what he has done when it comes to tax reform, what he has done for border security, what he has done for school choice, what he did prior to coronavirus invading us from China was give us the greatest economy we've ever had with historic unemployment levels, not only for African Americans, Blacks, not only for Hispanics, not only for women, but for all Americans. And that's absolutely extraordinary. He was able to create incentives to bring manufacturing back to the country. He was able to challenge dictatorships and the Communist Party of China, which has had to make incredible changes to the way they do business with us, including making sure that they have the value of their currency is more realistic and not dumping on our
Correct.
markets.
Correct.
We're also making sure that healthcare remains a priority. And that's a big challenge with COVID. Right. You know, COVID is a plague that came to us from overseas. It's affected everyone. It's an enormous pandemic. But having said that, the president has taken control of the situation, worked with the private sector and scientists. And because of this bond, we're going to have a vaccine in record time in order to be able to fight this virus.
Right.
Having said that, we're also, now that we know more about it, we know how to treat it better, we see that even as the numbers rise, hospitalization rates go down and death rates diminish as well, which is absolutely significant. We will not have lockdowns again under Governor DeSantis' watch in Florida. He's promised that. But the president also understands that you have to learn to live with COVID. You cannot hide from it and think that you're going to defeat it in that regard. And what we have seen is that in states where you have Democrat leadership, like Michigan, like New York, you definitely see where COVID really ravaged the population and lockdowns only destroyed the economy. It didn't destroy the virus. We also see that the president was enormously successful in making sure that the Middle East is safer. Remember when everybody said the world was going to end if we moved our embassy to Jerusalem?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the sun's showing up today.
And when he
Nothing
first
happened.
stepped into office, which he talked about briefly last night, you know, that President Obama told him that by far and away the biggest, threat to the United States in January of 2016 was North Korea. Well, guess what? Here we are 4 years later, and he's developed a relationship with Kimmy, as he calls him sometimes. And look, obviously the situation has not been completely resolved, but we're not worried about nuclear missiles landing on our backyards anymore.
Well, and even if that is going to be a concern, the president made an effort to meet the North Korean leader, halfway and to try to find a new way to deal and to negotiate. And no harm done, as far as we can tell at this time. If anything, the president's administration has done more to deliver Americans who have been held hostage in countries such as North Korea, right, in countries such as Syria, in Iran, and elsewhere, which has been absolutely significant, in Venezuela as well. Yeah. So, I think these types of relationships can be helpful to promote American interests and American agenda, but it's contrary to appeasement, which is what Biden and Obama did, yeah, like in the case of Iran, where they gave pallets of money to try to get them to acquiesce from building and enriching themselves further with nuclear weapons,
and
which we know they did not.
Line in the sand
and also
Syria.
To, Cuba and Venezuela as well.
Right. And the famous line in the sand with Syria that, Bashar al-Assad just stepped over the next day. Just amazing. Listen, we got to take a quick commercial break here. We'll be right back. We are talking to Helen Aguirre Ferre, who is the director of the Florida GOP. Fascinating conversation. You now know a little bit more about her, and we'll continue the conversation right after this break. Stick with us.
Cardio Beats from Longevity supports a healthy cardiovascular system and helps supply the nutrients your body needs to support better physical endurance. Your capacity to last a little longer is largely based on how well your cardiovascular system expends oxygen and circulates blood through your body. Cardio Beats helps combat the oxidative stress caused by physical activity by supplying you with key nutrients that support your cardiovascular system. These nutrients have also been shown to help improve endurance. Cardio Beats starts with organic beets, a rich source of nitrates to support healthy blood flow and oxygen transport. We've added whole foods from highly bioavailable seaweed and mango fruit, both known for blood flow support, and antioxidant-rich sweet cherries. Then, for even more heart health benefits, we finished it off with key amino acids. Take your physical endurance to the next level with Cardio Beats. Talk to your Longevity associate for more information.
We are ENTV USA. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Roku. You can also download our mobile applications either from Google Play or from the Apple Store, depending on your online device. Give us a shot. You'll like what you see. Con una vista, basta.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Super Greens is a one-of-a-kind blend that's loaded with hard-to-find nutrient-dense superfoods. We've used what we've learned from our more than 20 years working with mineral-based nutrition to create one of the healthiest, plant-based nutritional products available. Each superfood was carefully selected so that it complements and enhances the others, helping to maximize Super Greens' nutritional power. Next, we added a specialized fermentation technique to increase the bioavailability of each superfood. Finally, we put in powerful probiotics and enzymes for added digestive support to give you jam-packed nutritional support. Longevity Super Greens, the highly alkalinizing super supplement that helps balance your body. It's the superfood-powered way to get more organic fruits and veggies in your day, all in just one scoop. Check with your Youngevity distributor to learn more.
Antioxidants are essential to protect your cells against the damaging effects of free radicals. Turmeric by Youngevity harnesses the power of nature to combat free radicals by delivering a potent boost of antioxidants known for their incredible healing properties. Sourced from certified organic turmeric root, turmeric contains 95% curcuminoids, the active compounds that quash free radicals. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years to promote both heart and brain health, as well as its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. We've also included a botanical blend of phytonutrients that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and sulfides. These natural, plant-based chemicals are powerful contributors to overall health and well-being. Turmeric, the organic antioxidant supplement from Youngevity, formulated to promote optimal health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Youngevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting sugar-free berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to Mas con Mas. I'm your host, Raul Mas. Thank you for sticking with us. We are talking to Helen Aguirre Ferre, who is the executive director of the Florida GOP. She's up in Tallahassee, a remarkable woman with incredible journalistic chops, and now working for the GOP, moving forward with Ron DeSantis' agenda for the state of Florida, and obviously supporting the presidential campaign of the president as well. We're talking about the debate, talking about Joe Biden. You know, one of the major news stories that the president alluded to in that debate, got a few shots in, but obviously the moderator did not want to spend a whole lot of time on it, was this new revelation that has come about as a result of Hunter Biden's laptop suddenly appearing on the scene, and just incredibly damning emails found in that laptop. And, you know, I mean, I know I shouldn't be shocked, but, you know, I still am shocked because, not just because of what's in it, but also because of how many of the major news outlets in America are just completely ignoring the story. And you know damn well that if this was Donald Trump Jr.'s laptop or Eric Trump Jr.'s laptop, and they found anything in it, even if it was innocent, you would have an army of reporters at the New York Times, at the Washington Post, just skewering them and finding ways to spin the story. But instead, what you hear is crickets. What does that tell you about the state of the media in America, Helen?
Well, I think that unfortunately, what we call mainstream media exists in name only.
Right.
The media has now become partisan. They're political activists, and you see it all the time, and that's really unfortunate. And I think we should all be concerned, Raul, because our democracy thrives on information, and you should be able to have platforms of straight reporting on many levels. That's why I like local media so much better, because they don't have this pretense of grandiosity, and they do try to just do who, what, when, where, why, and let the viewer or the reader figure out whether to believe, trust, or not. But the national media, the National Press Corps in particular, does our nation a great disservice, and they do the profession of journalism a great disservice as well. To your point, Donald Trump Jr., for his relationship with General Flynn and for a couple of phone calls he made with General Flynn, was skewered for more than a year and a half over a Russian hoax that we all know was part of a dossier that was made up, and it was concocted originally by Hillary Clinton because the Democrats have not accepted the election results of 2016, which is really sad. And so I think one of the things that the media is reflecting, Raul, is where we are today as, the United States of America and what this election is all about. This election is about American values. Election is about our American Constitution and preserving the dreams and the promises our founding fathers gave us. And now we have the New York Times doing the 1619 Project, which is rewriting American history, based on slavery. And you have the Liberty Project, which is just made to defame the Republican Party. And so what you have are lies and innuendo that are flooding, and you have, Ben Rhodes saying that anybody who worked for the Trump administration, Ben Rhodes being a former senior advisor to President Obama, saying that anybody who, worked with the Trump administration or supported the Trump administration should be punished. Robert Reich, who is a former economist who worked for the Democrat Party in a couple of administrations, said that there should be truth panels.
Incredible.
To determine. So what?
Well,
what?
keep in
so,
mind.
So this is reminding you of George Orwell, 1984.
Absolutely.
So you look at the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has taken a step further to the left of where Bernie Sanders was 4 years ago. Yeah. And you look at that party platform, and you really have to shudder. Yeah. Because everything that they're doing and everything Joe Biden spoke about yesterday was how to shrink and control the private sector while increasing the powers of the federal government. Should make us all worry.
Yeah. What happened to the moderates that used to exist in the Democratic Party, Helen? I mean, you and I grew up in South Florida, seeing a Democratic Party that had titans like Dante Fascell, Claude Pepper, Bob Graham, as well. I mean, individuals that were Democrats, but were sort of center-right individuals by and large. That no longer exists in the Democratic Party. I mean, they have, I think, placed Joe Biden as sort of the last the last great gasp of that so-called moderate fiction, but he's not really in control of his party. He's I mean look at the platform that came out of the Democratic National Committee.
Look who he chose for his vice presidential candidate. A woman, a senator who has a record as far to the left as it gets. So I do not believe Joe Biden is a moderate. Moderates aren't corrupt. what we've learned from Hunter Biden's laptop is that Joe Biden was pay to play, selling his influence as vice president. That's what he was doing to enrich his family. And if you can believe the emails from Hunter Biden, and to this day, the Biden campaign has not said those emails are not true, and there is an eyewitness to those events who has spoken about the validation of those emails. They were taking millions of dollars from foreign governments, from the Ukraine, from Russia, from China, amongst others, in order to personally enrich themselves. Let me tell you something. Joe Biden has lived for 47 years off the public dime. Yeah. And a senator earns today $186,000 a year. Have you counted how many homes Joe Biden has? How did he make that kind of capital?
Well, listen,
it's very unusual.
Yeah.
Hunter Biden, who had no experience on energy connections at all, earned $183,000 a month.
Incredible.
From a foreign oil company.
Yeah, listen, I'm not interested.
His dad earned about that much in a year.
Yeah, I'm not interested in Joe Biden's tax returns. I'm interested in Hunter Biden's tax returns, because I think if you read through the lines of what the FBI is saying, that they have this laptop and that it's part of a greater money laundering investigation, what I suspect we're going to find is that a lot of that money that Hunter Biden received, that either from the Ukraine or from the Chinese communist officials, the $5 million, apparently it was $5 million from China, according to the business partner of Hunter Biden, who's now come out and corroborated a lot of what was found there. That money, we got to figure out where it went, okay? Because it obviously did not go into the joint venture. It became obvious to Hunter Biden's business partner that this was just a fiction to sort of shake down Communist Party officials, and that they really had no interest in creating an investment vehicle and having a legitimate business. And that's when he soured on the deal, and I think that's why he's coming out right now, because he's realized, wait a second, there was money transferred, but I didn't see it. It went into Hunter Biden's pocket, and who the heck knows where it went from there, because it certainly didn't go into the joint venture.
Here's the good news. The American people are smart, and they're seeing through this. Yep. So I think the president accomplished his goal yesterday, which was, number one, to win the debate, but number two, to seal the deal. We know that there are millions who have done early voting, but that's the base of both sides that have gone out. There is still that electorate that has yet to go out and vote. And I think the president accomplished much in persuading people to see who he really is as a leader, and that he can be a very measured, strategic, and strong leader. And that's what they saw. They saw somebody in Joe Biden who was lying and unfortunately very, very weak. And that, what you see is what you are going to get. So I think that, we have this tremendous opportunity going forward. I'm very confident that, well, let me put it this way. I'm cautiously optimistic that Florida will deliver, and that we will have the votes in place to give the president 4 more years in the White House, which will be very, very important. I think the Hispanic vote is going to be absolutely critical. And I also think that we have gained points with the Black African American community, which is going to be absolutely critical. We are a diverse state, but hopefully we're not going to be a divided state. And, in 11 days at this time that we are talking, we have a lot of work to do to get out the vote. And there will be big efforts to be able to get out the vote. And the president will be voting in Florida for the first time as a Florida resident. And that's pretty exciting.
Fantastic, fantastic. We're sort of running out of time here, but one last thing. Do you think that Joe Biden's comment towards the end of the debate that he wants to transition away from the oil and gas industry is going to hurt him in Pennsylvania?
Oh, there's no question. He's denying the Green Deal, the Green New Deal, as being part of his agenda. But of course he's going to. But that was just absolutely critical. You know, there are a number of things that he said that were wrong. I think that's going to hurt him in Oklahoma. It's going to hurt him in Ohio. It's going to hurt him in Pennsylvania. It's going to hurt him in Texas. It's 10 million jobs that are on the line. Because of President Trump, you know why businesses flourished in part? Because he lowered the cost of production of energy. And we are now net exporters of energy, and we do it efficiently and safely to boot. That makes a huge, huge difference. That's going to come back to bite Biden. I think the fact that he said that he was never against fracking it isn't true. It's up on the website of donaldjtrump.com. It's up there. You can see that video. The fact that he wouldn't admit that under the Obama-Biden administration, they had cages, that they put children in cages and separated them from their families, is coming back to bite them. Not to mention the fact that they did do pay to play and that they are corrupt and they've been caught.
Yep. Listen, there's a lot there, and I think a lot of it's going to, if we have some reporting of that, I think that stuff is going to come back to haunt him. But look, like you say, Americans are not dumb. They go to the gas pump. I filled up my tank the other day for less than $2 a gallon here in Miami-Dade County. So, you know, what we're seeing, that the economy is getting back on track, and I hope it continues down that way, because I agree with the president. We can't allow the cure to be worse than the disease itself. And we know that 99.5% of the people affected with COVID recover. We have therapies, we've got treatments. Regeneron was just finally approved by the FDA, and we just need to move this economy forward. Thank you, Helen, for being with us. Appreciate taking time out from your busy schedule. I'll send you the link so you can see yourself as soon as we have it up on the air.
Thank you, Raul, and thank you so much for this kind invitation.
No, thank you. Take care. Stick with us. We'll be right back with a few more comments. Thanks again to our sponsors, Longevity, Grimal Joyeria, Cachita Coffee. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break for some closing comments.
Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Longevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Cardio Beats from Longevity supports a healthy cardiovascular system and helps supply the nutrients your body needs to support better physical endurance. Your capacity to last a little longer is largely based on how well your cardiovascular system expends oxygen and circulates blood through your body. Cardio Beats helps combat the oxidative stress caused by physical activity by supplying you with key nutrients that support your cardiovascular system. These nutrients have also been shown to help improve endurance. Cardio Beats starts with organic beets, a rich source of nitrates to support healthy blood flow and oxygen transport. We've added whole foods from highly bioavailable seaweed and mango fruit, both known for blood flow support, and antioxidant-rich sweet cherries. Then, for even more heart health benefits, we finished it off with key amino acids. Take your physical endurance to the next level with Cardio Beats. Talk to your Longevity associate for more information.
As you age, the collagen that helps keep your body in optimal physical condition breaks down faster than your body can replace it. But now, it's easy to give your body the healthy dose of collagen it needs with Collagen Creamer from Longevity. It's a delicious vanilla-flavored coffee creamer that's packed with 7.5 grams of bovine-sourced collagen peptides. Youngevity's Collagen Creamer uses 2 types of collagen to better supply the protein needed to repair and strengthen the connective tissue in your body. It also supports healthy hair, skin, nails, and even bones. We've also formulated Collagen Creamer with MCT, healthy fats that the body is able to absorb and convert into an instant boost of energy. Add it to coffee or one of your other favorite beverages when you need it. Youngevity Collagen Creamer. Support for healthy connective tissue and more energy, all in a tasty vanilla-flavored creamer. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you have to look it or feel it. Immortalium by Youngevity was developed to support your body's ability to age normally and healthfully. It's an advanced anti-aging supplement that combines the most effective essential nutrients in a cutting-edge, bi-layered and extended release tablet designed to support your telomere health and natural aging process. Telomeres are the biological clocks within your cells that form the protective ends of almost every chromosome in your body. Telomeres help prevent the chromosomes from deteriorating. The longer and healthier the telomeres in a cell, the greater the health and anti-aging benefits. Immortalium contains synergizing antioxidant enzymes and telomere health-promoting nutrients that are quickly absorbed to give your body time to break down the antioxidants and put them to work. Immortalium, advanced anti-aging support that can help fight the natural aging process. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
A strong heart is a happy heart. Your body's systems depend on a healthy cardiovascular system to thrive. Without a healthy heart, you could experience symptoms like fatigue, aches and pains, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Youngevity developed Ultimate EFA Plus with a proprietary balanced blend of essential fatty acids. We started with flaxseed oil. It's been shown to improve the elasticity of arteries and support healthy blood pressure. Next, we included cold water fish oils, rich in omega-3s that can promote a healthy cardiovascular system and even increase levels of good HDL cholesterol. Then we added borage oil, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blended together, these essential fatty acids provide you with the optimal blend of nutrients to help maintain normal cardiovascular health. Ultimate EFA Plus, the right nutrients to improve your heart health naturally. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Helen Aguirre Ferre. She's a class act. I've known her for many, many years. Very accomplished journalist, as you heard in her original introduction, who's now sort of shifted into the political sphere and is now serving as the executive director of the Republican Party here in Florida. But just an incredibly accomplished woman, mother, journalist. Always love talking to people like her, whether they're Democrats, Republicans. It's nice to see people as accomplished as her, and it's a privilege to have them on this program. I wanted to talk a little bit more about what we saw last night, the debate between President Trump and Vice President Biden. Obviously, a much better debate than the first one. A lot fewer interruptions and talking over each other. I think the threat of the mute button did work. I think the fact that the candidates were given 2 minutes uninterrupted helped enormously in sort of allowing them to sort of vent and get their main points across. I don't know if it was completely balanced. I mean, I saw some of the numbers this morning where the moderator interrupted Trump, I think a total of 111 times compared to 22 times for Joe Biden. I don't know if that's necessarily what you would call fair. There seemed to be many times when where Trump was trying to rebut something and was being interrupted and couldn't really finish his thought, and yet you didn't see the same thing happening when it was Biden rebutting the president's point. You saw a lot more deference. So I don't think it was completely fair, but it was certainly a lot better than what we saw in the first debate, and I think viewers got a lot more information out of it. Unfortunately, we've had 2 debates, and we've covered a lot of ground, but so much of it has been focused on COVID-19 and the economy, which understandably are probably the top 2 biggest subjects that people are most concerned about. People are concerned about getting the disease or the death count or whatever they want to call it, and people are also very concerned about losing their businesses. They want to get back to work. They want to go back to a sense of normalcy. They want to have their kids back in school. So these are topics that are absolutely sort of dominating the debate back and forth. But unfortunately, because they are sucking up so much oxygen in the room, we don't have time to talk about other things that are equally important. I mean, we've had very little discussion about, foreign policy issues. As Helen alluded to earlier in her interview, here's a president who's made incredible strides, in the Middle East. I mean, he just got, several Middle Eastern countries to recognize the state of Israel. I mean, that's a historic accomplishment. There was no mention of that. There was practically no talk about the fact that Trump has been pushing very hard to get the U.S. out of Afghanistan after, almost 20 years of being in that country, and really, a lot of American lives lost, a lot of American treasure, including our youth, lost in that war. Very little talk about that. There was some talk of North Korea, a little bit of talk of China, but very little talk about, China's moves in the South China Sea, and they're trying to expand their sphere of influence. Very little coverage of, Russia and Putin continuing to try and destabilize, Western Europe and trying to basically kill off his enemies. I mean, these are important subjects. And let's not forget about things like the national debt. I mean, we now have $30 trillion of debt, okay? That is, much larger than the entire gross domestic product of the United States in any given year. And it's a legacy that we are leaving to our children and our grandchildren, who are going to be responsible to somehow figure out a way to cover those interest payments, let alone pay it down. And when we look at the stimulus plans, we already spent several $1 trillion on stimulus, and now we're talking about yet another plan. And we really didn't cover that subject in depth. I think it's one that deserves more public conversation about, because we simply cannot continue to print money to get ourselves out of this COVID mess, okay? We have to find a way to get a handle on our spending and be a lot more efficient with taxpayer money. Very little discussion about the Supreme Court. We've got Amy Coney Barrett getting ready to fill the chair vacated by the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But very little discussion about the Supreme Court and the threat of the Democrats to quote unquote pack the court by increasing the number of Supreme Court justices so that they can once again turn the Supreme Court justice into a rubber stamp for a lot of liberal policies and agendas. That was barely even covered. And if you notice, Joe Biden is sidestepping that issue. You know, he's finally pressed on it. He said he was going to give us an answer before the election. And you know what his answer is? That he's going to create a bipartisan committee if, in fact, he's elected, and he's going to give them 6 months to come back with recommendations. What the hell kind of an answer is that? Okay? You have no idea where he stands on this issue, and he won't tell you because he risks antagonizing the liberals that are really, you know, pulling his strings, and behind the scenes, Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and the liberals that today really dominate the core thinking of the Democratic Party. He doesn't want to antagonize those people. He can't afford to. And that was missing from this debate. There was no discussion of the Second Amendment. There's hardly been any discussion of the Second Amendment during this election cycle, except for Donald Trump at his rallies saying that he's going to protect the right of Americans to keep and bear arms. Joe Biden has not brought it up, okay? Even though he is on record very clearly as saying that he absolutely wants to confiscate firearms, not just regulate firearms. He wants to confiscate firearms. He was the author of the 1994 crime bill that for a period of 10 years banned the sales of many semi-automatic weapons in the United States. It was a disastrous law. It sent hundreds of thousands of people to jails, flooded our prison system with people there, for many of them for minor offenses, and banned firearms for an entire class of firearms for 10 years. It was a disaster. And Biden needs to be, you know, pressed on these issues and pressed about the Second Amendment. You know, the Supreme Court came out back in 2008, I believe it was, with 2008, 2009, with two very important decisions. The Heller decision that basically affirmed that all Americans have an individual right to own a firearm for protection of themselves and as an insurance against tyranny. It's not a collective right. You know, the Second Amendment is not the red-headed stepchild of our Bill of Rights. It is also an individual right, just like the freedom of speech, just like to be free from unreasonable search and seizure, just like all of the rights that are in the Bill of Rights. The Second Amendment is an individual right. That was affirmed by Heller. A year later, or shortly thereafter, there was another very important decision, McDonald versus City of Chicago, in which the Supreme Court held that, yes, the Second Amendment also applied to states and municipalities. Okay, it wasn't just a federal protection. You know, the federal requirement, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution supersedes state laws and municipal laws, and the Bill of Rights applies to states and municipalities as well. That subject was practically has barely been talked about during this election cycle. I think Joe Biden's going to come to regret certain things that he said. We talked about that briefly with Helen. I think his commentary that, you know, we basically have to transition away from oil and natural gas, and he wants to do it by 2025 or 2030, is absolutely going to come back to haunt him, particularly in states like Pennsylvania that is so dependent on fracking and natural gas. It's become a big part of their economy. A lot of, you know, the oil wells that were thought to be exhausted in Pennsylvania have come back to life as a result of fracking technology, the horizontal boring underneath the surface of the earth, cracking open new deposits and stuff of oil and natural gas. Become a big part of the Pennsylvania economy. Obviously, you know, oil has historically been very big in Texas, right? And Texas has a lot of electoral votes. So I think these things are going to hurt Joe Biden, particularly that part about the oil and natural gas industry. I think it's going to come back to haunt him in the days and weeks to come. And I think, you know, the president truly scored some points when he talked about the fact that he entered politics precisely because he was fed up with Joe Biden and Barack Obama. And once again, the president positioned himself as that outsider. Hey, I'm not one of them. The only reason I'm on this stage is because of people like you, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama, who basically were selling this country out to foreign interests, were making all sorts of incredibly stupid decisions that were harming America's interests around the world. And when he said that, I thought it was probably one of his best moments during the evening when he came out and basically confronted Joe Biden and said, the only reason I'm here is because I'm sick and tired of a professional politician like you, Joe Biden, 47 years in power. Those are my comments. I hope you appreciate them. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Helen Aguirre. Very political program. Hey, listen, we're not supposed to be an objective news source here. This is Moscow Mas. This is how I view the world. I hope you enjoy my viewpoints, and if not, hey, there's plenty of other places you can go. But thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us, and look forward to seeing you again next Friday here on Moscow Mas. Take care. Have a good evening.